This is Pillars of Eternity, the definitive edition, which I got for free on the Epic Games Store a while back. I just recently played Wasteland 2, so I thought I would try out another Unity RPG sort of a game. Now apparently it looks like I have The White March Part 1 and 2 in this definitive edition, but I'm just playing the regular version. I've already set my options. I'm going to click on New Game. Difficulty settings. Story time. Easy, normal, hard, Path of the Damned. Or Expert mode. Or Trial of Iron. Wow. Trial of Iron sounds really... That sounds like the best option for a video recording. I'm clicking it. So I'm gonna do normal difficulty. Wait, Trial of Iron. The hard difficulty is suited for Infinity Engine veterans who are looking for a challenge. Survival requires micromanagement and optimization of stats through items, spells, and abilities. Normal difficulty requires strategy and efficiency, but forgives a few mistakes in combat. It is not recommended for newcomers to real-time party-based RPGs. I feel like I've heard that Pillars of Eternity is kind of hard. I want to see how hard it is. I'm playing on hard. Trial of Iron, playing on hard. Here we go. This will make for some great video content. I've never seen this game before, by the way. I have no idea how to play it. I know nothing about the story. It's been out for like a million years, but I've never seen it. This is the first time I'm playing it. Playing on hard, Trial of Iron. Here we go. Probably gonna die. But it'll be entertaining. Obsidian Entertainment presents... Pillars of Eternity. The character sheet contains all of the details about your party members. It also features a list of all your personal and party statistics, including reputations. I am hoping that this has a compelling story right away that will make me want to continue playing it. And I'm hoping it does not have 10,000 words of exposition right at the beginning.
Five wagons grope blindly for the path on a starless night, their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
Okay. Pretty good so far. Character creation? Yes. Randomize, randomize. Randomize. Well, we have male and female. Sex, race, clan, attributes, culture, appearance, and voice is our choices. The place of men in society varies from culture to culture. Cultures like Aedir and the Dyrwood place them at the forefront of military politics and heavy labor, etc., etc. I'm gonna sneeze. Or maybe not. A woman's role in Eora is largely dependent on where she is from. In the Aedir Empire, Valian Republics, and the Deerwood all have hot links. What's the word I'm looking for? Hot links? That's not the right word. Tooltips. Women occupy many domestic, educational, and organizational roles, etc., etc., etc. Okay, well, interesting. The Deerwood is a colonial nation founded by settlers from the Aedir Empire. Well, it looks like we're going right into the deep end of the lore, right from the beginning. I'm assuming that we will figure all this out later on. I'm gonna play a male just because it's easier to do a male voice since I am a male. Races, we can be human, Aumau. The mighty Aumaua are the largest of the Kith races and are commonly found in or near oceans. Though not truly aquatic, they have an affinity for water, and many of their civilizations, such as Rauatau-e, are based on naval dominance. They are known for their unparalleled strength. I was about to say, that sounds like the dwarf of this game. But then dwarf is the next one on the list. That's a hilarious looking dwarf. By virtue of land covered and number of colonies settled, dwarves are the most well-traveled race in the world. They are commonly found in the Deerwood, the Valian Republics, and almost any colonized land. Dwarves are known for their great strength and tenacity, but not their dexterity. The Valian Republics are a mercantile power and former colony of a larger, more ancient nation. Of course they are. Elves, the ubiquitous elves, are the dominant race in Ir-Glanfath, which is a territory comprised of the forest southeast of the Bale River, and the White that wends, and are extremely common in the Deerwood and Aedir. Elves are known for their speed and intelligence, as well as a commonly isolationist nature. Dexterity and perception are their traits. Orlin is, a little tree guy. Orlins are the smallest of the Kith races. Well, I don't know why I can't say Kith races, though many cultures don't consider them to be civilized at all. Also notable for their large ears, two-toned skin, and hirsute bodies. Orlins are commonly found in Ir-Glanfath, the Ixamital Plains, and parts of the Deerwood. They are known for their mental intensity and sharp senses. They have resolve and perception, but they are weakly, for their might is tiny. As tiny as their stature. So far, that is the most hilarious looking one. So I'm leaning towards the Orlin. Let's see what the godlike is. Looks like a tiefling. The godlike are children of the Kith, civilized races, which is the Kith are the civilized races, who have been blessed with physical aspects associated with the gods, though some do not consider it a blessing. These aspects may take many forms and often come with mystical powers. Aberrant, what am I saying? Aberrant head shapes are typical, and godlike are unable to wear protective headgear, as it is near impossible to find anything that fits. Because of their unusual nature and their inability to reproduce, godlike are often viewed with fear and wonder. They have dexterity and intellect. Well, I mean, obviously I'm gonna pick the Orlin. I mean, of course I am. Because that gives me the best opportunity to do a funny voice. So next, oh, we have a sub-race. We have the Wild Orlan. The Wild Orlans are the original Orlans who lived in the deepest forests and jungles between the tropics. While they have only been significantly separated from Hearth Orlans for 1,000 years, a few genetic differences have appeared rapidly. Well, 1,000 years is pretty rapid. Most notably, a lack of facial hair in the Hearth Orlan branch. Wild Orlans are common in the deep reaches of Ir Glenfath. Unlike their Hearth Orlan brethren, they are not often seen in a bunch of places. Defiant resolve. After being subjected to a will attack, Wild Orlans temporarily gain a bonus to all defenses. That's their racial trait, I assume. Their special thing. Hiccup, hiccup. The Hearth Orlan are often found as slaves in Red Saras and the Valian Republics. One of the treaty terms between the Dyrwood and the people of Ir Glenfath was the liberation of Orlan slaves, and while this has been honored, many Hearth Orlans continue to live in the Dyrwood as indentured servants. Their special ability is a minor threat. When attacking any target that is also being targeted by a teammate, Hearth Orlans convert some of their hits into crits. Yeah, I don't like that guy. I like the wild one better. Wild one looks like a tree. So, I'm guessing these are basically the halflings of this game. But I thought it was, I thought it was more like a tree race, but I think that's supposed to be hair. Alright, class. We're going with the Wild Orlan. Well, we're not really jumping right into the story in this game, are we? We're doing quite a bit of character creation before we get anywhere. Normally, I like to just hit randomize a few times and start the game in an RPG, but in this case, I learned from Wasteland 2 that I enjoyed the game much better when I took the time to make a character all my own. I cared much more about his fate, his or her fate. So, classes, we have Barbarian, Paladin, Chanter, Priest, Cypher, Ranger, Druid, Rogue, Fighter, Wizard, or Monk. I'm immediately attracted to the ones that I don't recognize, which are Chanters and Cyphers. Cypher, let's go to the Chanter. Let's start with a Chanter. In every culture across Eora, there are Chanters. Many historians... Oh, this is a bard, isn't it? Many historians consider Chanters to be the most ancient workers of magic. Oh, or not. Not a bard. They're hallowed phrases stirring the collective memory of wayward souls around them, compelling them to generate magical effects in a kind of reenactment. Well, kind of a bard. In some societies, chanters form organized groups of storytellers and researchers, but in most parts of the world, they are just a time-honored part of local folk traditions. Starting abilities. All chanters can continuously speak chants made up of magical phrases. Phrases produce passive effects and help build a chanter's power until they can use an invocation. Powerful magical invocations are powerful magical effects. Blah, 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 blah. Lore. So we have lore, knowledge, and mechanics. Interesting. Traps and locks can be a problem for the toughest adventurers. So mechanics are like lock picking and stuff like that. I've already forgotten the beginning of the story. Why was I in this carriage? Why am I sick? Why am I going somewhere? What was my goal? I don't know. Well, let's see what a cipher is. A recent discovery in the Eastern Reach. Ciphers were once called Brishalgwyn Mind Hunters by the Glanfathans. Ciphers, whatever that is. Ciphers have the ability to directly contact and manipulate another person's soul and psyche using an ally's or enemy's essence as the focus for their magic. Though most ciphers are still found in the Eastern Reach, practitioners of the techniques have spread throughout the known world. They are gaining acceptance over time, but are generally distrusted, especially by the uneducated. Well, I don't know what any of that meant, so I think this is the one I'm going to go with. Because I don't know what this means. Ciphers can directly target allies and enemies with powerful soul-focused effects. This sounds like sort of a charming class to me, and I've always been sort of interested in charming classes. You know, like the EverQuest, there's a class that has some sort of charming-based magic. I was never able to get that class to work in EverQuest, but I've always liked the idea of like charming monsters and using them to fight on your behalf. I've always thought that was a really cool class feature, but I've hardly ever seen that work in a game. But anyway, ciphers can directly target allies and enemies. These powers cost focus, which ciphers build through the use of their soul whip. They have +1 stealth, +1 lore, +1 mechanics. Oh, their endurance is very low. Nice. Their health is low, accuracy is average, deflection average. I don't know what that is, so I'm doing the cipher. Powers. Ciphers can directly target allies and enemies with powerful soul-focused effects. So we have antipathetic field. Okay. What? Whoa, wait. I clicked on it and suddenly it just selected it. Oh, okay. So I can pick one of two skills here. Man, this is a hardcore character creation system here. This is pull up a chair and take your time making a character. Man. Okay, so we can pick from antipathetic field. I feel like I'm not pronouncing that right. Antipathetic field is probably how that's pronounced. Eye Strike, Mind Wave, Soul Shock, Tenuous Grasp, and Whisper of Treason. Oh, that sounds cool. Imparts a bedeviling secret to an enemy that causes its allegiance to bend, charming them for the duration. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The foe target will be charmed for 10 seconds. Yeah, see, that's always the problem with these charm classes. The charm never lasts long enough to really help. Alright, what else do we have? I feel like we should have, you know, a basic, you know, blast skill. Tenuous Grasp. Oh, Frighten and Confuse. That sounds cool. Assails the target's grasp on reality, frightening and confusing them. That sounds cool. Soul Shock. That's basically like an electrical shock. Mind Wave, a concussive blast of psychic energy. Boring. Eye Strike, shocks an enemy's visual receptors, dazing and blinding them, as well as blinding nearby targets. You know, I've just had a horrible thought. Isn't this one of those games where you have a whole party? Do I have to create like 3 more characters? Anyway, antipathetic field creates a toxic physical manifestation of the mutual antipathy between the cipher and the enemy target. Enemies caught in the path between the two will suffer corrosive damage. Okay, well, it's a fancy name for an acid spell. That's what it sounds like. Tenuous Grasp sounded the most interesting to me. So I feel like with a Frighten spell, I can frighten people away from me and confuse them. And with Whisper of Treason, I can charm people into fighting on my behalf. And then whatever else I have to deal with, I can just swing this gigantic sword that I apparently am carrying with me. That's it. That's what I'm doing. Class is complete. And, oh, I have one more. Oh, the Soul Whip is the default, I guess. My default skill. Causes the Cypher's weapons to generate a field of parasitic energy that lashes out at the target, increasing damage inflicted and generating focus for the Cypher. So that's what I need to use. I need to use the Soul Whip before I can use my other things. Okay, got it. Alright, so I got 15 points to spend on my attributes. It looks like I have a big star next to Intellect, which is highly recommended for Cypher, apparently. I have a little star next to Dexterity, which is recommended. Might is also recommended for the Cypher for some reason. Oh, Might is the character's physical and spiritual strength. Brute force, as well as their ability to channel powerful magic. Well, that's interesting. Combining physical and spiritual strength in one stat. I've never seen that before. During interactions, it can be useful for intimidating displays and acts of brute force. Well, it just figures that... Alright, so I feel like I really need to just pump up my intellect. Whoop, oh, I can only go up to 18, apparently. Is that the maximum... 18 is the maximum stat, apparently. So I have 7 points left on Dexterity and Might. Let's increase our Might. What do these other stats do? Constitution, yeah, I guess. That's health and endurance, right. Perception, senses, pick up on details, whatever. Resolve, internal drive, determination, blah, blah, blah. What's the actual game mechanic, though? Mental intimidation, leadership, and convincing performances. Well, I'm assuming I'm going to be the leader of my party, so I'll bump that up a point. In combat, it helps... Let's put a couple more points into Might. And one more into Dexterity. Whatever. What is Dexterity good for? For my class? Contributes to the reflex. Alright, let's do one less Might and one more Dexterity. There we go, that's my character. 13 Might, 10 Constitution, 12 Dexterity, 12 Perception, 18 Intellect, 12 Resolve. No, I'm gonna go down 1 on Intellect and go up 1 on Dexterity. 13 Might, 13 Dexterity, 17 Intellect, 12 Resolve. Good enough. Moving on. Culture. Oh man, I'm getting tired. This first episode is just going to be character creation. What do we got here? We got Aedir, Deadfire Archipelago, Ixamiddle Plains, Old Valia, Rawatawi. That was where the water people came from. The Living Lands and the White That Wends. That was something to do with the elves. The Aedir Empire is currently the largest and most powerful force in this part of the world. It is centered around the equator and has a tropical climate. Ooh. Though the Empire has colonies in the numerous areas of the world. I say ooh, but it's freezing outside as I'm recording this video. So, tropical climate sounds pretty good to me right now. Greater Aedir is at its heart and houses the majority of human and elven nations. Alright, so that's where humans and elves live. The Deadfire Archipelago is the pirate town. Okay, hundreds of lawless pirate-infested islands. Home to boreal dwarves, Awamawa, and a mixed variety of other races. Sounds like... Why did it... Wait, I had a sword before, now I have a hammer and a shield. How did that happen? Does that change? Oh, it changes based on my culture. Oh. Wow, I do have a lot of fur on my arms and chest there, I see now. What else? Okay, Deadfire Archipelago, that's a possibility. It sounds like a place for a misfit like my character. I'm sure my character is a misfit. The Cypher sounds like sort of a misfit class. Alright, what else we got? Ixamital Plains. Oh wow, I got a spear for this one. Extensively farmed by human and Orlan residents. Wait, I'm an Orlan. Maybe this is where I'm from. The Ixamital culture is one of the oldest in the world, though one of the least imperialistic, having spread out little over the past several thousand years. Well, wait a minute. Is this the culture that has the Orlans as slaves? Because I don't want that one. Because I'm no slave. Old Valia is the rapier culture. Oh, that's some not very good modeling there. Looks like I'm barely holding that dagger. Once the crown jewel of the southern seas, Old Valia is now the crumbled remnants of an empire of warring merchant nations. Counting many humans and dwarves among their ranks. Okay, humans and dwarves come from there. The Rawatawi, this is probably like the Polynesian nations, I'm assuming. Awamawa, Orlan, and Dwarven. Oh, okay, well, apparently Orlans are from here. These countries are relatively young. They are some of the most advanced colonial settlements in the East. The Gulf is a land of riches and resources for those who can take them, though the entire coast is often pummeled by violent storms. Okay, well, this sounds like the Caribbean. So Deadfire Archipelago, I get Dexterity. Rawatawi, I get Constitution. How about the Living Lands? I've been in character creation so long, the music has run out. The Living Lands is the mountainous region of a large northern island. Its weather is unpredictable. It's a home to an assortment of races and a variety of colonial and independent settlements. Okay. Ecosystems vary dramatically from valley to valley. Well, that's... Oh man, that's a bow class. I don't want to start with a bow, though. Starting with might is good for me, though. The White That Wends, a large, cracked southern expanse of polar ice. Ugh. Home to pale elves and small colonies of daring explorers, outcasts, and adventurers. Well, that does sound like me. I don't really want to... Perception doesn't help me much, though. So... Does any of these give me intellect? Old Valia gives me some intellect. It doesn't make any sense for me to be from there, though. I think I'm gonna go with the Deadfire Archipelago. Lawless, pirate-infested islands. And mainly because I like the hammer and shield. That's of the choices here. We got a big sword, hammer, shield, big spear, rapier, dagger, axe and dagger, a bow, and an axe and dagger. So I feel like I like the hammer and shield. The war hammer and shield. I like that. So let's do that. So that should give us another point of dexterity to bring us up to 15, right? Okay, now we get our background. Wow. So much to choose from here. Let's see. Aristocrat, drifter, explorer, hunter, laborer, mercenary, merchant, raider, slave. Which one jumps out at me? Well, drifter. I've been calling myself a misfit. Merchant. What about a merchant? You've traded goods from all over the world, pairing items with buyers of all kinds. I mean, most of these don't really make a lot of sense. Raider doesn't make any sense. Mercenary doesn't make any sense. I mean, they make sense in the context of, like, Dungeons and Dragons, but they don't really make a lot of sense in terms of, you know, historical authenticity. Aristocrat would be, you know, highly unlikely. Drifter sort of makes sense. Explorer doesn't make any sense. Hunter kind of makes sense. You live for the thrill of the chase, whether for glory or for sustenance. You have made your living taking the lives of wild creatures. Stealth and survival. I mean, that sounds sort of authentic, I guess. Well, okay, wait. I'm in the pirate nation, though. So merchant really seems like... Merchant definitely seems like the right choice for the pirate archipelago. Lore and mechanics. I mean, those don't really help me at all. But traps and locks would be cool. I feel like I might have some rogue tendencies. Lore. Okay, that's fine. I have this feeling now. I've spent so much time on this character creation. I'm almost 100% sure now that none of this stuff that I'm doing is going to matter at all, and it's going to throw me into some situation where none of this has any bearing on anything. Portrait. I need a portrait. Oh God. Why can't you just take a screenshot of my little guy there? Why can't you just do that? Alright, whatever. Head appearance. Skin, primary, secondary. I mean, that's fine. That's good enough. He's a little brighter, so he'll show up better on the screen. I'll make him pale green. There we go. Of course, none of these are even close to what my character looks like. Let's at least make him the right color for the portrait. There we go. He's light brown now. Head appearance. It looks like we have no choice on what our head appearance looks like. Okay, so this is what our guy looks like. That's our only choice. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. I don't like spending all day on the visuals of my character anyway. What's our voice? Male cocky. Male feisty. Cocky, feisty, mystic, noble, sinister, smooth, or stoic. Just off the top of my head, I'm gonna say smooth is probably the one I want, because I'm a merchant.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Now I am the leader of the group.
No, that's no good.
Attack!
Nope.
To whispers and shadows.
To whispers and shadows. Well, I can sort of do that. Feisty's probably no good.
Watch and learn.
Watch and learn. That voice actor sounds familiar, actually.
I'll teach you a lesson! They'll never know I'm here.
Oh man, that voice actor sounds familiar. What's Stoic?
Huh?
Huh?
Follow me.
That's Sam Riegel.
Let's go!
That's gotta be Sam Riegel.
Nice and slow.
Oh, I only get... it doesn't give me any more.
Yeah?
I've got this.
Yeah. Let's keep quiet.
Leading the way.
Hey there.
Oh, why? That voice sounds so familiar. Who is that?
I'll take a peek.
Show him how it's done!
I know that voice. Hold on, I gotta look this up. Well, I can't find out who specifically these are, but I did find out that the sinister male is Matt Mercer.
Keeping an eye out.
Yeah, that sounds like Matt Mercer. And I did confirm that this is definitely Sam Riegel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely Sam Riegel. But I couldn't figure out who the smooth male is.
Easy does it.
That's gonna distract me the whole time if I don't figure out who that is. I can't figure it out. Let's see if any of these female voices are appropriate.
Follow me.
Show him how it's done! Keeping an eye out.
Eh? I've got this.
Ha!
Sharp eyes and keen ears. Yes?
I'll lead the way. Quick and quiet. Just say the word. You're mine!
Now, what is it gonna use these voices for? This is what bugs me. What is it gonna use these voices for, and can I change it later? Is it just gonna be voices that had come up in random, expositions and in combat? Like every time I click to attack someone, is it gonna do this?
Death to our enemies!
Is that all it's gonna be doing? Actually, I kind of like that one. The female cocky voice seems to match this little guy. I think I'm just gonna... Oh, I could do none. I could do none and do my own voice. Yes. That's what we're doing. Death to our enemies. That's what I'm doing. Oh god, now for the hardest part, I have to think of a name. Where's the randomize button? I need a random name. I'm a merchant in the Pirate Cove archipelagos. My name is... I'm a wild Orlin. The first name that comes to my mind is Pickles. That's a terrible name. Let's try to take this a little bit seriously. How about Olive? Oliver? I gotta think about this for a while. My name is Samosa. Good enough. Alright. I'm clicking accept. Will it launch into the game now? Not yet. Alright, well... I have finally gotten to the end of character creation after nearly 40 minutes. Jeez, I'm exhausted now. I need to take a break. Alright. I will be back. Next time we will begin the actual game after getting through this tremendously long character creation.